Good morning, everybody. Today it's raining and it's not overly hot, so it's pretty nice to wear a sweater while it's raining. But this week has been pretty busy, so we haven't been able to take care of the cattle exactly like we want. So the pastures need change, everything's needs bedded and everything. So that's what's on the agenda for today. Yeah, boy, that seat's half wet. So I'm gonna go change pastures once. I did my chores. And then once Adrian gets out, we can bed the cattle. Cattle are in the barn eating, so they should be okay. They shouldn't come out, really. Yeah, I'm gonna have to open that. I'm gonna unplug the shocker too. I'm not sure how this fence needs moved around, but I'm thinking, I don't think that has a gate handle, so I'll have to untie it and whatnot. But we'll go see. This paddock here is not even finished. The fence and the fence row doesn't go up all the way. It actually stops right at that tree there. So this fence, what was done before was this fence that went up around that way. They loosened it and put it around this way. So now I need to loosen it again, put it around that way. And then the cattle can go over here, and they'll probably still be able to come over here. But we won't be, but they'll have that fresh grass that they won't want to be over here as much. Started raining a little bit harder now. Just gonna make it really unhandy to work outside. So we're gonna let the fence lay for now. The cattle should be okay and everything with it. But we'll let it lay until hopefully it slows down raining a little bit, so we can go back up and do it. I think it slowed down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to slow down much more. So I'm going to go do that fence. But before I do that, I'm going to shut off the fan for the oats here in the grain bin. It's probably just going to put moisture into the oats with the fan blowing air into it because of how damp and wet it is out here. And it's raining. So we're gonna turn it off because we want that to dry, not gain moisture. There used to be a crack up there, but it looks like Adrian fixed it because it's not dripping on my legs. That's very, very nice. Because you almost didn't want to drive this in the rain, because you'd be driving and bam, bam, water dripping on your leg all the time. And it just drives you almost crazy. So, I guess there's no way out of this, so I'm just gonna end up getting pretty wet. I'll just go in the house and change later. Oh well. So that's what I'm gonna go do now. I'm gonna do the fence. Probably gonna let the GoPro on the Ranger a lot because of I don't want it getting wet. So you probably won't see much of it. Still raining a little bit, but I'm getting this wrapped up here. Almost done. I just need to connect these two things together and another one up there. That fence only went up to about there, so I needed to get another section. Then I didn't get quite long enough of a section, so I had to get another like 10 feet. So I need to splice these together yet. And I don't have a lighter or anything with, unfortunately, so I have to do it by hand. So it's a lot slower. Basically what a splice is I cut out the plastic and take the metal of this poly wire here. You can see some hanging off there. And I twist them all together. There's 9 strands per 1 strand of wire. And then the plastic just goes, throw that away. But then the rest of it, I just twist around and make sure that they conduct the electricity really good. Then it takes about 5 minutes to do 2 strands, so it's not too bad, but it'd be a lot faster with fire. Now I just need to drive around the fence, check it. Got everything done. I thought this leak was fixed. It's not quite fixed, but it's a lot better than what it was. So that's good. Like here, the fence is a little bit low. Grab the post, turn it. Low no more. Let's keep going. Isn't that just a wonderful sound, this rain? Hanging the pass since like Monday. Today is Thursday. past week or so, we've got like 5 inches of rain. We had an extremely crazy amount of rain in one afternoon one day, where so much, when I was actually at work, we actually went home early because we lost electricity, and it was raining extremely hard. So yeah, we got a lot of rain in one day, and we had this rain pretty much most days since. Yesterday was an exception, thankfully, when we were up at Ag Progress. That was really nice. But I'm gonna plug the shocker in here, and the cattle can go up on pasture to eat. Next is to change pasture now at Crystal Farm. Fed at the 2 farms. Then once it stops raining, we also need to turn the fans on in the grain bins. But we're not going to right now, because if we do right now, the grain, the oats and wheat in the 3 different grain bins, the fan does is it takes air from the outside, blows it up and through, and it's supposed to dry the grain. And it works pretty good when it's dry out. But today it's like raining, so that's not gonna work. That, if we would keep them running, it would take moisture from the air and put it into the grain, which is exactly the opposite of what we want. We want moisture taken out of the grain with the air. So we'll just let them off for a few hours, and if it stops raining, we'll fire them right back up. The reason we need to get our moisture down is because if we don't get it below a certain percentage of moisture, our grain will spoil and rot, and we'll lose the crop, which is what we don't want. We want to sell it. I got Adrian. Now we're gonna go down to the Crystal Farm and do 2 things. We have to vet the cattle there, and we also have to change the paddocks for the cattle there. So it shouldn't take overly long. The flooring guys are here, they're working. And the boys are down here working too, the guys that we hired to do it. At least some of them. I'm not sure if Donovan's here or not. Where are we going? Pasture first. With all that rain lately and a bunch of rain this morning and overnight, that creek's high. Like, that's about as high as I have ever seen it. Now, it was higher here a couple days ago because it had actually pulled fence into the creek. So it's like, oh, we mow under all the fence, but we don't have any current. Something's terribly wrong. So we go look at it. 2 spots where the fence goes across the creek, it had pulled it in. So we cleaned it up, got it good. Now all that's okay. Now I really should be putting a wiper on this thing and make it a lot nicer. Alright, we're gonna get this done. Fence all looks good so far. This is where we mowed. Dad and Adrian did a lot of it. I helped from like the edge of this fence on. Actually it's about here and on. Oh, there's the other fence. Right, that looks good. That corn we mowed pretty far in. Like the tractor was almost up against the fence. So it was like 7 feet in. Cut down a lot of Jimson weed and some corn. Some spots was the first row of corn, but so far so good. Fence over there is where the other place it was down across the creek, in the creek. But look how full that is. That's normally like mud. That's like half of that's normally like a swamp, where it's just mud and stuff growing. With the creek, you know, maybe 3 feet wide at the widest part. Now it's like as wide as the bank's water flowing. So this creek is higher than I've ever seen it in the past 6 years. And I'm not complaining, I'm just surprisingly high for this creek. Still raining a bunch. So we're gonna go in and eat lunch once, and then probably bed cattle afterward. Then I have something else I need to go do this afternoon, and we also need to take the 1 miter saw down to the Crystal Farm for those guys, because the saw that they have for cutting the trim isn't big enough for some of the bigger trim. So he wants ours, which is big enough. We made sure it was big enough when we bought it for that trim. Bedding the big cattle now. Put all the cattle in here. This is the first time we've bedded since we had this fan going in there. Something I didn't think about is that will blow the dust out. So I'm here throwing, you know, the straw and a little bit of dust comes off, that just goes away. So that's really nice. I didn't even think of that. This bale was extremely fine. Like the pieces are like, you know, tiny pieces. So it just falls apart. And it fell apart right away when Adrian got it. And it packed tight. So it's like almost hard to bed because it's smashed so much. So I'm not sure why, unless the baler had his cutters going. He shouldn't have. Oh well. It'll soak up straw, manure really nice. Being a smaller bale and the bale packs so tight, straw didn't reach all the way up front here. But up here it's not really bad at all. Like, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have fresh straw, but it doesn't need it whatsoever. Back there is really where it was bad, back by the fan, so that's taken care of. Now I just need to bed this pen. Everybody's bedded up pretty good. We might have to bed that pen some spots again here before long, because when it rained so much, there's a bunch of water that went in the back there. So we'll see how it works. It should be all right. Yeah, so that's the end of the list for today. I think unless it dries up a little bit, then we can start the fans again. It stopped raining about an hour and 15 minutes ago, and it's dried off enough, so I'm gonna start the fans. It's a little bit hazy out yet, but I don't know that that's gonna go away for the rest of the day. But it's a lot better now than what it was. And the cattle that are up on pasture, they're liking it. They had gotten chased out a little bit with the skid loader and decided to go up there. The rest didn't. But those have been up there since we got done bedding 2 hours ago or whatever. But we can start this for the oats, go down and start the 2 for the wheat. I don't really want to drive down here because of the mud, and I gotta go somewhere here before long. But we got these fans turned on. Alright, I'm gonna stop recording because I need to hold my ears for these because they're extremely loud. Yeah. Those things are extremely loud. Dad's got the grinder mixer. He's on the tractor backing up the grinder mixer. We moved the big wagon and trailer out of the way. We're gonna put some feed into the feed bin over there. We overfilled this a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna empty it out a little bit into the feed bin over there. Then we're gonna put more mineral in because we didn't have quite enough, and let it mix for a while, and then empty it out the rest of the way. Just watching this mix a little bit here. We're not gonna unload any. We unloaded some already. I made equipment series, so I wasn't able to show it because I was using the GoPro for that. Just hanging on here. And we are supervised. That's just right over there in the pickup truck. Getting the figures out of there, we'll be okay. Basically what this is doing is just mixing everything back up, and after it's been ground, there's some corn, soybeans, oats, what else is in there? Then we also got some mineral. That's about it. Mix it up, and people put all kinds of stuff in here. This is just what our mix happens to be for the summer. It changes a little bit in the winter. Dad and Adrian are gonna unload that while they're doing that, because we don't need everybody to just stand around basically. I'm going to start with chores. It's a nice fresh stream for these cattle. Right. That's a lot heavier again. two doing? Pretty good? You're looking good, you're looking good, you're looking good. They're all looking good. Everybody looks good on this side. They're still unloading grain, so I'm gonna go out and see what's up. We got the elevator pushed back and pushed to the side pretty good. Now I can put the grinder mixer in here as close as we can. That way we can walk better on that side. That setup is put away. We'll just need to shut these doors yet. And over here, where we forgot to shut when we were bedding today, but Dad's gonna back the tan trailer down. We'll get that unhooked, and that'll be in place, and we can put up the fence. Cut her all good to go. Dad and Adrian are over there working on the four-wheeler, and while I have some time, I'm gonna try to service this Ranger. Then, when we get the high pressure washer back, this thing needs washed really, really badly, but we'll have to wait till then. There we go. Whew. Look at the amount of shavings on that thing. Wow, that's a lot. Transmission check. Just need to do the engine air filter and change the oil in it. Then grease it. Then Dad got some oil for the hubs or something. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but those need done too. And then I also would like to check the belt, see how that's looking. So to get to the oil filter, I need to remove this heat shield. The oil filter's down underneath all that garbage right there. You can see it. Yeah, I don't know why they can't just make it nice and handy to change, but oh well. I got the transmission oil changed, and the engine oil's dropped. I need to change the filter, then I can fill that back up. Then I think I'm gonna stop for tonight because it's starting to get later and people are probably gonna want me in the house soon. So I got the heat shield out. Set the exhaust. Yes. That's not really hot anymore. The rest of the engine's still a little warm. I mean, it's warm, but it's not hot. Okay. Am I gonna be able to get that off by hand? Yes. Hallelujah. Somebody didn't put it on very tight. Awesome. Now we need to go underneath here and set up my light so you can see, and put this in. It's the drain plug. That's had a good while to drip. I couldn't get my Allen wrench out. There. So we'll just tighten it up with it. Now back to the top of the engine. You need to fill it back up with oil. There we go. And from what I understand, it takes 2.5 quarts, which is exactly what I have. So it comes in the kit, so that's nice. Now let's see if I can do this without a funnel. Whew. Wow, that's ugly. Alright. Okay. This thing's done servicing except for greasing, which I think we're gonna do, but I'm not sure when. Maybe tomorrow? We'll see. Didn't take much of that front hydraulic fluid. Unless I'm supposed to be doing these hubs somehow. I don't know what I don't know. Dad and Adrian are busy working with the four-wheeler, trying to bleed the brakes and whatnot. But I'm gonna get this cleaned up. It's about 8:30. 8:45, I'm not sure. It's been a little while since I've checked. Okay, that thing is done. It's serviced, ready to go. Except for degreasing it, which is gonna be tomorrow, and washing it. Should be washed. But I guess this is gonna be the end of the video. It's 10 after 9. Everything's pretty much put away. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.